Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, I will not take more than 10 12 minutes for this presentation. I know all of you are hungry. So, today I am going to talk about cybersecurity solutions of Trellix. So, I represent Trellix as a senior solutions for Trellix government and taking care of writing. So, moving ahead from here, so a little bit on Trellix, I believe. So the agenda for today is a little bit on Trellix, like what Trellix is. Many of you may be hearing for the first time, right? What the company state of the industry today, right? How we are looking at the attacks and what are the challenges that the industry is going through today. The AI powered security platform and the framework that we offer, and the differences that we have in terms of how we can provide value in terms of proactive cybersecurity approach and controls. The Trellix at a glance. So, if you have heard about a company called McAfee and a company called Gartner, so Systemic Technologies Group acquired both of these brands in 2022, and a new brand called Trellix was formed. And we have more than 53,000 global customers today, and we have more than 2,000 employees in India. And it's a pretty old company, McAfee. I believe most of you have heard about it, and Fire. Both of them today have formed this brand called Trellix, and it is present in more than 185 countries today. Present in more than 185 countries, and we have years of experience in cybersecurity, and the kind of data, kind of head intel, the kind of the information that we have on the attackers, the adversaries, and the reputation that we carry in the village. So the scale of the industry today, if I talk about, so the trends in terms of what is the security of the stock is for data, as well as the data lakes, the data options, and the directions of the action. So that is something that we are talking here. So as these are some of the data that we have taken. So there are some of the data that we have taken from our in terms of how the CISOs are looking at in terms of how the cybersecurity posture is, and how the industry is shaping into the new era of AI. So when I talk about AI is not only used by the security practitioners, but it is also used by the adversaries. The adversaries are also using AI LLMs to design and craft malwares, right? To launch attacks and exploits, and to do cyber attacks. There are a lot of examples that have also happened in the recent past, and that is one of the main challenges that we see with the rise of AI and Gen AI tools. So these are some of the major cyber threats that we have seen in terms of what kind of attacks that the industry has seen in 2025. And this is something that's going to get innovated day by day. So as I said, that AI is being used, ransomware attacks, right? So you have heard about ransomware attacks where machines and the endpoints get encrypted, and there is a ransom that is being asked by the attackers. Phishing attack is one of the most easy way of attacking today, that is through email. Email is sent to the users by looking at the user profile. The attackers are maybe looking at you from social media and see that what are the likes and the dislikes of the user, and accordingly the emails are crafted and the emails are sent to the users, and when you click on the link, the malware, the payload, that gets downloaded, and once that gets downloaded to the endpoints, then there is a exploitation happens, and then the movement happens, and then there is a persistent connection that is maintained. The data breaches kind of that we have seen in the recent years in the government, in our federal, even we have seen a lot of organizations who are into the air gap environment. Okay, so for air gap environments also, we have seen there are a lot of attacks, breaches that have happened in air-gapped environment, and we do have certain solutions actually targeting on the air-gapped environments where it's a captive environment without any internet and it's a closed network. So in those kind of networks also currently not secure. Digital arrest scams that we have seen, right? Obviously, that is something that everybody knows about it. There has been a lot of news coming up about how digital arrest has happened. So one of the most important thing to understand for us over here is that what is the weakest link? The weakest link for any organization is the user. So the user training, the user understanding of and how they are reacting to emails, how they are reacting to calls, WhatsApp messages, that is pretty important because the scammers, the adversaries are today very smart and they are looking at how to actually exploit and get into your organization by using your system, by using your email. That is the easy way in. So why is the surge in cyber attacks? So obviously we heard a lot about the attacks that has happened post the Operation Sindhu. There were a lot of attacks that were targeted to the Indian organizations, right? You know, there were DDoS attacks, there was ransomware attacks that happened, targeting. There were websites were defaced, right? Websites were defaced, and there was and we completely realized that there is still a proactive approach that is needed to the cyber security arena of today. And that is how, as I said, geopolitical tensions, war, digital transformation of the critical sectors. So when we say critical sectors, I am also talking about the OT area, right? IT-OT convergence. So that is very important to understand today. If there is a system that is there on the IT side of the environment and that IT side system is compromised, that can actually compromise the OT environment also. There is a firewall and there are HMIs, right? So those systems can also get compromised and there can be a lateral movement of malware that can happen from the IT side to the OT side. So those kind of critical infrastructure today are also not secured and we need to have a holistic approach to understand the cyber security landscape and the cyber security visualization platform for even the IT and the OT part. So with the regulations that are coming up, like DPDP, all of you have heard about DPDP, right? The data fiduciaries are now need to have security controls, need to have consent management. So these are some of the platforms that need to be established by the data fiduciaries. So when we talk about data fiduciaries, it is the organizations that are managing critical data, right? End user data, citizens data. So obviously with the DPDP Act, it is a law now, and there can be penalties up to 250 crores that can be imposed by the DPDP board to the data fiduciaries. So there has to be a consent management platform that needs to be there, and these regulations that are coming up today is something that is driving the cyber security to innovate more, to understand more, and the need of the hour is to have a kind of platform. So the days are gone that you will have 10, 20 technologies in the environment and people are managing that. That is actually increasing the overhead. So with Trellix platform, we are able to achieve most of the security controls that are mentioned in these compliances, in the cyber security, and the challenges that we are seeing today, those all can be, those pain points can be taken care using an AI-powered platform that Trellix offers. So as I said, we start not only from the endpoint, but we cut all the tangents for security, whether it is endpoint, whether it is network, whether it is the data security, data protection, encryption, right, email security, and XDR platforms. So we have, since it's an amalgamation of two best of the breed brands like McAfee and FireEye, so we inherit all of the technologies from McAfee and FireEye, and today we have formed it into a single platform. And we have developed our own GenAI platform called Trellix Wise. And using the GenAI platform, we are able to do AI-guided investigation. So when I say it is an AI-guided investigation, it means that the artificial intelligence, the GenAI is being now used to understand that how a particular attack is important to you. So there are a lot of attacks, there are a lot of alerts. on your dashboard, but which is actually an important alert for you, where you need to focus your efforts. The SOC needs to take action. What are the remediation guidelines that need to be followed quickly, right? So the important aspect for today is that there is no technology in this world who can say that I can give you a silver bullet in cyber security, right? There is 100% security nobody can offer. But how we take it is like how we are designing a people, process and technology framework together, right? And how fast we can react and remediate to a particular attack or a cyber attack. That is most important to me, to understand that how the process will work, how quickly we know that this particular alert is important for me out of the 5,000 alerts. And that is where Trellix plays an important role and aspect to help you to understand the alert which your team, your SOC really needs to focus on. So this is the entire AI-powered platform of Trellix, where we are looking into cloud, on-prem, hybrid, as well as all of the technologies, including the framework, security controls, the compliances. All of these can be bring onto a single platform, a single solution, and by providing you with a single source of truth or single source of glass. The key solution areas that we have at Trellix is the workspace security, the data security, the network security, and the security operations. So all of these can be achieved using a platform-centric approach. So today the days are gone that you have 5 to 6 technologies working in silos. There are 5 consoles for you that you are looking at. Right? But then how you are looking into the entire aspect of probably data loss prevention, data encryption, right? Endpoint detection and response, SIM, log management. These are all security controls and technologies that needs to be implemented to have a complete understanding and holistic visibility of the security landscape. So the email solution, the collaboration platform, the enterprise application, the endpoint devices, all of these is something that we are looking at, and how we are protecting the data of the users is something we are looking at. The most important aspect that I want to talk about, 2 things before wrapping up, is one is the attack path discovery. So using the Trellix network security platform, we do attack path discovery to run a simulation in our environment to show that how an attacker can come in your environment. So this attack path discovery is a proactive security approach to let the organization, to let the administrators, let the CISOs know that what are the gaps that can be exploited by an attacker and how an attacker can come in the organization and which is the low-hanging fruit for the attacker. The second side is a kind of advisory services which we provide across our platform, which is used by, which can be leveraged by the SOC administrator to take a understanding of the entire network and how they can focus on the attacks. And these are the threat intel feeds that we are providing. A simulation exercise can also be carried out, so we can run some simulation exercise. We can send some email messages and see that how many users are clicking on that email messages and how many users are actually getting trapped by the phishing simulation. And it's a multi-layered detection and response approach. As you can see, it is a visibility, detection and response that we are doing through, and how we are eliminating the blind spots, how we are taking the data, coordinating the data, and how we are doing the responses. That is how the entire platform. So we have a hyper automation solution also, which is the store, which ties to the entire platform. So when we get the threat feeds, when we get the alerts, we can even take action quickly with third-party devices that are there in your environment to the hyper automation platform. And the IT/OT and ICS integration that we can do to have an IT/OT convergence story, to have an entire visibility not only onto the IT environment but also onto the OT environment, and all of these data can be taken into a single platform. As I said, hyper automation, it is an automated workflow with no code builder. It's just a drag and drop platform where workflows can be created and actions can be quickly taken, where you take the data and the intelligence from the different security technologies, and that can help the SOC team to quickly take action and remediate. Last but not least, the threat intelligence portfolio that we have. So we have the 30-year data of different URLs, files, hashes that are known malicious. So those data are also used into our platform to enrich the content, to do a data enrichment. In point of data enrichment, we are doing that to take actions properly by the SOC. And Trellix Wise is the GenAI platform that has been developed by Trellix in-house, where we are using our own LLMs to actually run simulations and to show that where the organizations and the SOC team needs to focus their efforts on. So why Trellix? So we have been in the industry for the last 30 years, and obviously more than 500 integrations across all the, so we have something called Trellix third-party alliance also, where we integrate with other technology solutions like CERT and other vendors, NIST, NVD, CERT. With all of these different vendors, we integrate different bodies, we integrate, and we can take in their data also to do a data enrichment in terms of threat context. So that's all from my side.